Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. We're going to talk about several things in this video. There's an article from You Today titled Bitcoin XRP received massive exposure in 2019, and it's a fine article. I think that something like this, and perhaps a little bit more comprehensive, would be awesome for the end of the year. I know, say end of the year, a week and a half from now, it's already going to be December, so we're wrapping up 2019, I guess. But it's fun to kind of run through some of this stuff. I've also got a couple tweets from the XRP community. Did you know that Swift, who I don't know who's running their Twitter account, but they are blocking XRP community members? Oh yeah. How about that? So I'm going to share with you my thoughts on that and some examples of what's actually going on there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the idea of government squashing crypto in general, especially as it pertains to Bitcoin and China. And then I'll wrap up the video with this article from CoinDesk titled Fidelity Digital Assets to Sign Up Its First Crypto Exchange by End of the Year. Yay, bullish infrastructure news. But before we get going any further, if you would please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ever so delicately tap that like button. It really helps support the channel because, look, I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works, and I'm not convinced that any employees at YouTube even know how the algorithm works. It's very complex. But I do know that if you hit that little thumbs up guy, that does help. And so I would appreciate it if you'd be willing to do so. And consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, because if you don't, you're dead to me. All right, let's hop into the content now. Bitcoin has not only seen a significant rise this year, but also got into the global spotlight along with other crypto thanks to bankers and politicians. So in 2018, if 2018 was the year of the crypto winter, it certainly was. In 2018, Bitcoin and altcoins, such as XRP, have come into the spotlight. The major portion of the world's attention has been given to Bitcoin by the current U.S. President Donald Trump, who has recently cursed Bitcoin on his Twitter account. And that was fun. I enjoyed making videos about that. Because look, and I'm not going to get political on this channel ever, but I don't care if you're on the left or the right. It is fun tracking that. It just is. I'm so glad he uses Twitter. He mentioned Bitcoin several times on Twitter, criticizing it, but still giving it massive attention. Trump also tweeted about Libra that has faced enormous resistance from the U.S. Congress and bankers, not only in the U.S. but globally. This has made the awareness of Bitcoin and crypto in general much bigger on a global scale. And tell you what, one more thing about Trump before moving on to the next part of this article. One of my favorite things reporting, actually, this is just, not like it was a wildly successful video for me anyway, I just had fun talking about it. Trump owns XRP. He has XRP, not because he bought it, because of XRP Tipbot. It was given to him, so the official United States president account, well, that's not what it is. It's Trump who is the president of the United States. I think you got the jib of my cut. Can I say that backwards? So he actually was given Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, XRP. I haven't checked that in some time. I wonder how much he has right now. It kept going up after I initially posted the video, but how about that? Anyway, a U.S. presidential candidate, Andrew Yang, who intends to introduce universal basic income in the future, should he win, has several times mentioned Bitcoin publicly. He expressed an idea that in the years to come, UBI could be paid in Bitcoin, making it not universal basic income, but universal Bitcoin income. Another presidential candidate, the controversial eccentric John McAfee, who has been on the run since around May, avoiding meetups with the IRS and CIA, confessed that he does not actually want to become president. All he wants is to raise crypto awareness and get Bitcoin exposed to masses of people. Well, I don't know how much the word that he's spreading is getting outside of crypto Twitter and the rest of crypto media, but I'll tell you what, he is hot conversation all over crypto Twitter, and he just is. He's an interesting guy, whatever you think of him. He just is. Now, look at this subheading. XRP now used by MoneyGram. This year, the crypto giant Ripple bought a large stake at the global remittance service MoneyGram. Now, MoneyGram uses XRP to wire funds to Mexico via the Bitso exchange. Whoop, whoop! Utility matters, I'm telling you. The company is planning to add more corridors for XRP utility and instant cheap payments that the Ripple technology provides. Besides, the Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse gave an interview to CNN, which was crucial not only for XRP investors, but for the crypto community overall. And I tell you what, I always get excited when I find out there's a Ripple employee and there's a new interview that I get to watch, especially if it's, okay, I got a couple favorites, I'll admit. It's kind of tied between Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz for me. I love listening to those guys talk. They're insightful, and every now and then you'll really learn something quite meaningful that you just didn't know before. You know, the more I like, the more I research on a daily basis, you know, there's always so much like big news to come out, but still, every now and then there is indeed big news, and I appreciate even just learning little bitty things here and there. But let me go ahead and hop into this now. So here's a tweet from Magic, who writes, "How could governments destroy crypto? They could simply outlaw exchanges and short the bejesus out of Bitcoin and others. China, the world's largest Bitcoin hub, apparently hates Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin is centralized there, and it wouldn't take much for China to cause major problems." Now, look, I'm telling you, China, whatever they do to Bitcoin, and they absolutely could. Like I am, since I'm not a maximalist of Bitcoin or any coin, I'm willing to acknowledge the flaws in the technology as it pertains to proof of work. And I'm willing to acknowledge, since I don't have an ideological bend on this, that Bitcoin is, although it's fair to say it's decentralized by and large, by the majority of metrics that you could consider. As far as the concentration of mining in China, that's not a good indication of decentralization. I think that's fair to say, is it not? And so it's just as true. I could absolutely see a scenario, even if it's unlikely. I could envision a scenario where the Chinese government is absolutely able to take over these mining facilities, and they can conduct a 51% attack. And what's really going to stop them? Now, that said, even if that happens, I don't think that they're going to be able to stop the crypto asset class. Not for a moment. It would be very turbulent, and if that happened, perhaps it wouldn't be good for altcoins either, because as it stands, with such a nascent asset class, and people haven't figured this all out. So if Bitcoin tanks, it's just not good for any other asset in the short term. But that's not always going to be the case. Absolutely not. There's no way. This is, again, just because there's a frenzy around the technology and people don't understand everything and they don't know how things are going to pan out here. Now, All the Way 08 responded to that tweet and wrote, "All China has to do is seize control of the 6 mining pools that control Bitcoin within their borders, something they have done to companies before, and they could influence Bitcoin in whatever way they wanted, but no one in Bitcoin believes that is possible. They don't have to attack it." Well, I'm completely on board with that concept, All the Way 08, and I don't know if it's likely or that it's going to happen, but the fact that it can should be concerning, and it's because what would that actually look like? You know, if that actually happened. So I guess you could make the argument that Bitcoin can fork, and then everybody else that isn't the Chinese government goes with the fork. But is that going to happen? To what degree is that going to shake confidence in the utilization of Bitcoin for anything? And I don't know. Those are questions that have yet to be seen. Because you only have confidence in something until you have a reason not to. It's certainly true with fiat currency. The average lifespan of fiat currency is less than 30 years, right? So it works great until it doesn't. So I don't know. Either way, something is always going to have to be money for people. So I don't know exactly how that would shake out. It's a fun critical thinking exercise, though. Here's a tweet from Stephen Bull from the Deep. And you can see this screen grab right here. Swift has blocked you. It's at Swift Community. That's their official account right there on Twitter. At Swift Community blocked you. And so here's what he wrote. Stephen Bull from the Deep wrote, "This is a very clear sign that Swift is scared of Ripple and XRP. Another clear sign that they can see them losing against Ripple in cross-border payments industry." And so I responded to that, the optics of such blocking are not good for Swift. I wonder who they have running their Twitter account. And I am curious. Like, I just don't silence those people that are critical of what you're doing here. I'm just telling you, from an optics perspective, at a minimum, it's not good. I mean, if they're truly abusive accounts, fine. But this guy, Stephen Bull from the Deep, I've never seen him write a single bad thing in ever on Twitter. I've never seen it. I can't imagine that whatever reason he got blocked for is justified, but hey, there you go. Real XRP boy, he's at boy_XRP, responded to me and wrote, perhaps someone that was pissed about the XRP community constantly tagging Swift. Remember like a year or so ago, all of us were literally S-wording, I'm sorry, I have to censor, I don't know if there's kids in the background anywhere, literally S-wording on and constantly making fun of them. He's got the little laugh emoji. It's true. I'm guilty of it too. I'm sure. LOL. So that's fun. And so look, and still to that end, I don't think that everybody that's gotten blocked, because there are more in this thread. I don't know to what degree I really want to run through this. I mean, maybe I could highlight a couple real quick if they pop out at me. So there's some people that, like right here. So here we go. Yeah, maybe not exactly. I don't know. I thought I saw before I recorded. I thought I saw a couple here that said, yeah, here's somebody here. XRP Gator. I couldn't even search for them. Now I know why. I feel honored. So he was blocked too, and he didn't even know it. And so, look, if there's truly abusive accounts, okay, fine, use the block feature. I can't imagine that everybody in the XRP community that's been blocked here. Is it really legit? Did they really need to do it? Because a lot of the people that are Bitcoin maxis, and I know it's different than Swift, fine, but a lot of times they will proactively just block anybody in the XRP community. Like if you like something pertaining to XRP and they catch you, they will just outright block you. They don't want to be open-minded. I've just encountered this time and time again, and that's the poison of tribalism, frankly. But there we are. All right, next I got this next piece from XRP Crypto Wolf, and thank you very much, good sir, for sending this direct to my inbox. All right, this is from CoinDesk. Fidelity Digital Assets to sign up its first crypto exchange by end of year. Hooray! Fidelity Digital Assets, FDAS, the young cryptocurrency trading business of a financial services powerhouse, expects to sign its first exchange by the end of the year, according to its president, Tom Jessup. As a brokerage, FDAS helps institutional investors get the best deal buying or selling Bitcoin from various sources. So far, those have all been over-the-counter trading desks. Between launching our trading platform 5 months ago to year-end, we will have more than doubled the number of liquidity providers, Jessup told CoinDesk, declining to say exactly how many that would be. We are primarily focused on OTC liquidity providers. It's likely we will connect to our first exchange perhaps before year-end. Okay, that's positive. The move would likely give FDAS access to a broader market and liquidity for smaller trades. OTC desks primarily trade with larger institutions and high roller whale investors, whereas exchanges serve retail traders and smaller institutions. An exchange has more small order activity and is more comprehensive than an OTC desk, which may rely more on relationship-driven activity and is mostly used for larger block trades, said John Todaro, Director of Research at TradeBlock, a provider of institutional trading tools. FDAS, a unit of Fidelity Investments, is one of several firms attempting to bridge Wall Street with the wild world of crypto, along with Bakkt, the Bitcoin futures market launched this year by Intercontinental Exchange. It's a bold challenge. For example, OTC desks have been easier to bring on board than exchanges, FDAS has found. And here's a quote: "We apply a very high standard of counterparty evaluation involving a rigorous risk management and onboarding process," said a spokeswoman. This approach is something we've been able to apply to OTC desks with post-trade settlement more readily than working with an exchange. And so I'll say, look, even though obviously this is most certainly undeniably an XRP-centric channel, and it always will be, absolutely, I love news like this because I really do want the entire asset class to do well. And I like seeing the maturation of the asset class. I like seeing infrastructure built out. And this is perfectly in line with that, so I love reporting on this type of stuff. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!